Many of the Google Ads accounts that I audit all the time have fundamental issues with their conversion tracking. Now, sometimes it's actually not tracking things correctly. Sometimes it's not using the right conversion settings within Google Ads. And in this very short and actionable video, I want to tell you what to look out for and how to make sure that you are using the right conversion data in your Google Ads account. So we are here in one of our Google Ads clients conversion tab where you see a whole bunch of things going on. And how to get there is pretty straightforward. I'm sure you've seen this window here before. You head over to goals and then to summary, and here is where you see, well, a summary of all the different goals that you have in your account. And the first thing that you need to know, and that I'm sure many of you are aware of, is that Google distinguishes between primary and secondary conversions, as you can see right here, okay? So when you hover over this, it already, there is a little pop-up saying primary actions are used for optimizing your bid strategy. So of all the conversions that you see here in this window, there is only one, besides the ones that you cannot really change, right? But they're never being triggered anyway, if you're an e-commerce business especially. There's only one conversion that should be primary, and that is purchase, and it should only be one purchase conversion, right? That is an extremely important point that many people are not fully aware of. I would say 1 in 3 or 4 accounts that I audit make the mistake of having more than one primary conversion, if not even more than one out of 4 accounts. And what happens is, let's say you have a primary purchase conversion and you have a primary add to cart conversion, right? So here we have our add to cart conversion, 2,000 over the past roughly 30 days, a bit less than that, 2,000 add to cart conversions with around about 607 purchase conversions, plus in this account always like about 15% late conversions that are still coming in, which is exactly the ratio that we see in our store backend as well. So what we can see here is that this is set to secondary because obviously we don't want to optimize for it, right? So secondary actions are observed only and won't be used to optimize bidding and campaign performance. That's a very, very important aspect because even if you are not actively, using primary as the conversion goal of a typical campaign, it is still possible that Google uses this for optimization, right? And also you would have to make sure that you manually choose the right conversion in each and every campaign. If you just have one primary conversion and that is your purchase conversion, you can make sure, or you can basically use your account conversions whenever you're launching like a new campaign. That's way more easy. That's way less prone to any issues. And it's what is highly recommended if you want to have a clean and simple setup. So that is the very first thing. The second thing that you need to look at is this column of status right there. And as you can see with our main purchase conversion, the one that we're actively using, it says active. And if I hover over it, it's recording conversions, last activity, obviously today, last conversion recorded, also obviously today. And then it says enhanced conversion is active, which is very, very important too. There are some cases because enhanced conversions means server-side tracking. So even if, for example, people are not accepting cookies or are deleting, them or other issues might occur. With enhanced conversions, you can actually recover a bunch of conversions. And depending on the exact case and the type of traffic that you get, etc., this can mean quite the significant difference. It's not a thing of like getting an extra 1%, right? This could very well be a huge difference in the amount of conversions that you are getting in certain cases. So at least for purchase conversions, at least for the ones that you're actively using, this is exceptionally important. And very often I don't see that being active and, in place. And by the way, even if it says active, there are possibilities that if you go to diagnostics that it's not like set up ideally or in a perfect way. Now you might have observed that in our case, we don't have the active symbol here with our add to carts, but there are some issues or some further points with that. As I told you, the relation of purchases to add to carts, and we've analyzed this a ton in our GA4, this is generally fine, but still when I hover over it, Google says, enhanced conversion needs attention. Today, the ratio makes sense, all good. But if this was a primary purchase conversion, even though it all looks good, I would, of course, dig even deeper. But in our case, we just figured, yes, that's, just basically working out very well. But the most important point is primary, yes, active, yes, making sure that this is all in place. So as what we can say here then basically, right, is, let me just remove my blur tool here real quick. So the primary conversions are the ones that Google optimizes for. They make reporting way easier, and some data is also only available for primary. So some column sets are designed for primary conversions basically, right? So whenever you jump into an account and it tells you, 25 conversions, by default, Google is only reporting the primary conversions. You can still access the others by looking at all conversions or using custom columns. But of course, it's way more comfortable if you don't have to always do some calculation, which conversions you're looking at. So that's, besides optimization, the easier reporting is yet another reason for using only one primary. So only use one, right? Then on the other hand, we have the secondary, and those are for monitoring only, and they are good for debugging and funnel analysis. Now, what do I mean with debugging? Well, pretty straightforward. As you can see here, we have three purchase conversions. The one that is obviously super off, and then we had another GA4 one, but turns out that our main active conversion that we have right here is way more accurate when we did the calculation, right? We didn't want to remove the others though. We want to still keep them in the account because initially, even though we made the switch very long ago to that other conversion, we want to make sure that we have the other one as a backup, right? We still want to be able to access it if necessary because all the conversion data is stored within that conversion goal right there. So if you realize that there is another conversion action that's more accurate, another conversion tracking method that you've been using, make sure that you set the other to primary, rather than removing it completely. That way the data is still there. You can still compare the two. And as I said here, the second reason is that it allows you, of course, to do funnel analysis, which is especially true for the combination of primary to secondary conversions, right? By tracking add to carts in your Google Ads account, you can look at, okay, so what does my Google Ads add to cart to purchase ratio look like, and are there any campaigns where we're getting a ton of add to carts but no purchases, meaning there might be bad pre-qualification, or is there anything else that we're missing, and what can we do there exactly to counter that? So that is why these secondary conversions are super powerful and super important. You want to make sure that they are in place, that you measure them, but that they are secondary so that optimization is going well. Now, if you say that's all a bit too much and you've struggled with that in your own account and you have issues with conversion tracking or with scaling your account for that matter, then make sure to check the link in the description where you can schedule a call with me in order to look through your account and see how we can help it scale, especially if it's an e-com account. And with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and please subscribe for more Google Ads content for e-com brands. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to see you in the next video again. Bye-bye.